Good evening. I welcome all the participants and the speaker. At the outset, I want to say, speaker, Sajani, and I, all three have something in common. We are all NLP master practitioners and trainers from the School of Society of NLP by the founder of Neuro Linguistic Programming, Dr. Richard Bandler. Annelise Piers is certified in yoga and hatha yoga from Yoga Alliance USA. She uses that and for hormonal and emotional healing, along with essential oils and also metaphor therapy. All along, I don't know about you all, at least we know Sanskrit is the language of the gods. But now Annelise Piers is telling us silence is the language of the God. And I am just curious and wondering how she is going to present the subject when silence is the language of the God. But anyway, we are going to learn about how to use gentle breathing and in yoga along with poetry by Rumi from our guest speaker. Over to Sajani.
Thank you so much, Mr. Janaki Ram. And now it's over to Annelise Piers. It's over to you, Anna.
Thank you, Sajani. Thank you, Mr. Janaki Ram. Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. And I'm so excited to share, Rumi. I've picked a few of, Rumi's poetry because he is my all-time favorite poet. And I use a lot of his poetry in my own personal practice, my own sadhana. So, when you say language, silence is the language of God, that was a Rumi quote. So it's for us to be able to experience that today. And we're looking at doing a yin yoga practice on a chair. So, you're very, very welcome to, go onto the mat if you want. But I've actually skewed the entire sequence for use on a chair. So as Sajani said, I will leave room at the end of the program for questions. But for the most part of our practice, we will be in silence. We will experience this message, this wisdom of the body through your practice. So I don't know how many of you have practiced yin yoga before. It's YIN. It's based in traditional Chinese medicine. I can see Kapil here. I know Kapil has practiced yin yoga. So it's based in traditional Chinese medicine where we work with energy channels that run through different parts of the body. And these are like your nadis that you would practice in hatha yoga, except that here we look at 12 particular pairs that cater to different organ systems. So for tonight, we're looking at the energy meridians of the heart and the lungs. The reason I've picked these two pairs is because that is the closest to tapping the chi of heaven. And I thought just the way you shared the prayers at the beginning really put us in that space of being able to connect with the divine, to be able to connect with that deeper spirit within us. So, make yourselves comfortable. I'm going to pop myself up onto my chair. I see some chat messages here, and I'm so excited to see you here, Meera. So can you all hear me from back here? Sajani, is my voice audible from back here?
Yes, we can hear you, Anna.
Thank you. So what you need is you need a nice, comfortable but solid chair. Without arms is preferable because we will be doing a form of a twist in this fashion. See if you want to put something under your feet so that you're able to ground your legs down. So that's our first sitting logistics. So you want to come to the front part of your chair, ground your legs down, and be really nice and comfortable. I'm going to just give us a few seconds to adjust ourselves in where and how we're sitting. Okay. And I might keep coming up closer just because I want to show you a couple of things. Now, in yin yoga, again, we use a lot of acupressure points. And acupressure, typically, you don't want to use if you're expecting, because some of them are very, very contraindicated. The one I'm using tonight is a soft, beautiful one for you to again be able to find that balance, to be able to tap into the Shen. The Shen is your spirit. And the point that I'm looking at is right in line on the left hand, right in line with your little finger. So this is your heart 7 point right here. I'll mark it for you so you can see it even better. It's at the crease between, at the wrist, in line with the little finger. So that's one point. And then about 3 fingers down in the middle of the wrist, the middle of the hand, the forearm, is your other point that you want to press your hands on. Now, when you get your fingers, as if you're taking your own pulse, right? So these are your 2 points. One in line with the little finger, and one about 3 fingers down in the center. So when you place your fingers there, we're going to be meditating on something we call the Dantian breath. It's again a very important breathing practice in the Yin tradition. Yeah, so we're tapping the chi of heaven. By activating these 2 points, you're calming down the heart, and you're also protecting or building better energy of the pericardium, the sheath around the heart. So enough jibber jabber, we're going to start. Make yourselves nice and comfortable. Turn the left hand up, using your fingers for these 2 acupoints. Close your eyes. Just meet yourself wherever you are right now. The gentle pressure on these 2 points, you're literally just noticing what's going on. There's no expectations of you. There's no right, there's no wrong way to perform this. Just bring all of you to your practice this evening. Notice your breath. Notice the quality of your breath. Is it fast? Is it slow? Is it shallow or deep? Again, no judgments at all. Just watching, observing. Now take your awareness to the breath in the lowermost part of the abdomen. So you want to be focusing on the breath about 3 fingers down from the navel. That's your Dantian. It's the lower Dantian. It's an energy center in the body. Just draw your attention there. When you inhale, expand the abdomen and take only what you need for this moment. Exhale completely. Slow, deep inhales. long exhales. You might notice a pause at the end of the exhale before the next inhale. Again, without forcing your breath, enjoy that pause. In Chinese medicine, this center is believed to be the elixir of your essence, of your jing, the energy that you have been born with. These are your stores, these are the resources that you have, the very core of your being. Letting go of the acupoint now, just relaxing the body and staying in this silence with the breath for a bit. Allowing your intention, your sankalpa, your resolve to arise within you. Again, you're not thinking it, you're not intellectualizing it, just allowing this intention to rise inside of you, to rest upon your heart. We're going to continue in this frame of introspection, deep, quiet inside, but with a couple of breaks to show you a pose or two. So with the yin practice, what's different is we stay in a pose for at least a minute and a half. So there are three tattvas of yin yoga. One is when you find, when you're moving into a pose, you want to find your edge. You want to find a place where your body feels slightly challenged, but you definitely don't want tingling, pain, or numbness. So you want to honor your body's edges. That's one. Once you find that place between comfort and discomfort, resolve to be still. And that's when the magic happens. That's when you start to work on deeper connective tissues where the energy meridians run. So as I said, primarily we're working the heart meridian that runs, on down the hand and the lungs. So our first pose is the eagle arms. You might know that from a hatha practice. If the eagle arm is unavailable to your shoulders or just the way you feel this evening, the option is to have your arm across the body. So eagle arms, right elbow into the left, wrapping the forearms around each other and bringing your palms to touch. Adjusting to a point where you feel a juiciness on the back of the shoulders. Once you're there, soften, release the shoulders, release the neck, and we're going to stay for a minute and a half. If you've opted for the arm across the chest, the left arm will draw the upper arm in. Again, you're looking to open up the tissues here. So find your spot, find the pose that works for you, and continue to watch the breath. Take your mind into the body, take it into the sensations that you're feeling in the target area right now. Relax the hands, relax the muscle, relax the jaw. Stay with the breath. We tend to carry so much burden on our shoulders. We tend to unconsciously adopt a habit body posture. And that runs in the background of our minds. When we're breaking those patterns, we're watching for that habit body. Just 30 seconds more. When you come out of the yin pose, come out gently. Because these are colder tissues that we're working on. They're much less pliable. Relax the hands in your lap. Notice how one hand feels over the other. Your right side is your yang side. It's the more masculine, the more warm, the more heated side of the body. The left side is your yin, more feminine, the darker, the moon side. Moving to the other side now. So again, eagle arms or arm across the chest. Find your edge. If your mind wanders, take it back into the body. We're working with the energy meridian of the fire element, of the metal element, helping you build better boundaries, more discernment, healthier relationships. Almost there. stay with the breath, stay with the sensations. And release and relax. Again, notice what's going on in the hands with the release of the pose. So all of this energy that either is in excess or depletion or stagnated gets to move through the body. We're going to add a little bit more to this entire length up the neck now. So you're letting your hand hang down to your side and using the fingertips of the opposite hand to just open the neck a little bit. To allow your hand to sink down towards the floor. Let gravity do the work. You're very gently guiding the neck open. Doesn't seem like much, but there's a lot of work being done on the deep energy body, the subtle body. If you feel you want to turn your head down a little bit and get into another point on the back of your neck, if that does not upset the cervical neck, go ahead. Keep staying with the breath and the sensations. And because these tissues in the upper body are relatively thinner than the lower body, they stay a little less. Bring your neck back. And now to the other side. Remember, you can look down if you feel better. There are lots of energy meridians running up. For the large intestine, the small intestine, they run up the hand, down the back, the shoulder, and into the face. So again, very important for you to be able to discern right from wrong, good from bad, pure from impure, to keep what is of you and what is not of you. Just a little bit more. Coming back to the center. We now get into the middle of the shoulder blades. So you're going to be squeezing the shoulder blades together. Let me show it to you from the side. So you're clasping your palms together. If this doesn't work, then maybe if you want to hold on to your shirt, you want to get the shoulder blades in. And you're opening up the chest. So clasping the palms behind you. Reaching back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and then relaxing the hands down. When you do that, you're opening the heart and the lung meridians here on the front of the body. Breathe softly, breathe gently. And with your hands together, it's another affirmation of how this practice, especially the elements that we're working on tonight, how they help consolidate opposites. gone through conflicts. On one hand, you want something, on the other hand, there's something else going on. Maybe you're at crossroads. Maybe you're struggling with a decision or a relationship. Few seconds more. Release. Rumi says, out beyond the ideas of right and wrong, there is a space. I will meet you there. We mobilize the spine a little bit now. So I've picked poses for us. If we've been sitting a lot, if you've been working from home at your tables and your desks, this is again really good to just be able to detox the body, to build immunity. All of these poses, by the way, are great for immune building. So you're again coming to the edge of your chair, somewhere towards the front of the chair. Now, if you have a lower back issue, you don't want to be rounding in the lower back. And if you have a cervical neck issue, you don't want to be rounding the cervical neck. So keep a neutral spine in either of those places if that is the way your spine needs to be treated. Keep your feet nice and firm. You're doing a seated cat and cow. So the cow is where you dip the hips back, arch the lower back, open the chest, open the throat. On the exhale, you draw the hips, in, navel in, round the upper back. Inhale, reach forward. It's like a Sufi twist. Exhale. Inhale. So basically the pelvis moves forward and back. Forward and back. Just a few rounds in your own mindful manner with your breath. Inhaling on the up. Exhaling on the down. And relax. We now add a twist into our sequence. A twist is excellent again for realigning the spine, detoxing the body. It also opens up the chest. So the option that we have, I hope your chairs are without arms, because that will help you get this kind of twist going. But I'll give you two options for twist. See which one feels better for you. So again, I'll show it to you from the side so that you can see what I'm doing. Now, in the first version of the twist, I am actually sitting along the side of the chair. Yeah. Oh wait, let me just do it this way so you can see. So I've got my right hip to the back of my chair. My legs are nice and firm. I'm going to be twisting to hold on to the chair like so. So when you twist your body, draw your navel in so it protects your lower back. So I'm going to inhale, long spine, exhale, begin to twist. And then push one arm, one part of the chair away from me, one toward me. So again, I feel a really nice twist in the middle of the back. You're sitting grounded. You're holding on to the chair. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist. Push with the right hand, pull with the left. So that's one choice. If you have arms and you can't do that, you sit on the front edge of your chair, inhale nice and long. On the exhale, draw your navel in, opposite hand to the opposite leg. Lift up, backhand on the base of the chair. Exhale, twist. Be gentle with your lower back again if you have issues with your back. And soften into the pose. You're opening the heart meridian, you're opening the lungs. You're actually working the liver as well, the pancreas, all of the organs in that mid part of the body. Breathe a little bit more, a little deeper. Exhale longer. He says there is a language that doesn't use words. Listen. Neck out first. And then switching sides. So if you're using the back of your chair, you now have your left hip against back of the chair. Inhale long, exhale, twist. If you're going on to the other side, inhale long, exhale, twist. Just the pose with your breath. If your breath is coming at you really fast, you want to dial down the pose. Please honor your body. Almost there. Head out first. We're moving slightly lower down the body now because, again, one of the very, very important energy meridians that we work with is the gallbladder. The gallbladder, again, when you're here, you're working with discernment, with decision making. You want to have the courage to follow through. So the gallbladder works with the emotion of courage and curiosity, and it runs right up the side of the body. So the sciatic area is where your gallbladder energy meridian runs. So the good one to do, in your chair, again, take care of your knee, is you want to be putting one ankle on top of the other, one ankle on top of the knee. Yeah, but on the thigh part of the knee, what am I saying? on the thigh of the opposite leg. So you've got your right ankle on top of the left thigh. Now this might be just enough juice in the buttocks for you. This is where you stay then and you breathe through it. If you want a little more challenge, if you feel I can go a little deeper, but remember lower back issues, don't forward fold, keep the spine neutral. Go as far as you want. So this is what it would look like from the side. You might be just good here. You might want to go deeper. Some of you might want to go all the way down. This is where we tend to store a lot of our stress. And when you have energy stuck in the body, it manifests as, again, dis-ease, or as the emotion that it's trapping. So there could be fear, there could be recklessness if the energy is out of whack. Staying here in a nice space for about a minute. This is something I can hold for a long, long time. I just love the way the body feels and opens up after. In the interest of time for us today, slowly, gently come back out. As a while, enjoy the pause. The more we're able to acknowledge the pause, the more the space between thoughts, the more the quiet. Now the other side. You can always flex the foot towards the knee to keep the knee safer in this pose. Keep letting go. To read you one more Rumi poetry. Rumi says, "It is never too late to ask yourself, am I ready to change the life I am living? Am I ready to change within? Even if a single day in your life is the same as the day before, it surely is a pity. At every moment and with every new breath, one should be renewed and renewed again. There is only one way to be born into a new life: to die before death." Bringing yourself out from the pose, just relax, relax. Rest back against your chair. Take a seated shavasana. Relax the whole body. Remember the sankalpa that you set at the beginning of our practice. Prayer on your heart, that intention in your spirit. And remember to surrender that too. To trust. Slowly bringing your hands together. Letting them meet at your heart center. Bow your head in gratitude for the lessons, for the wisdom, for the ahas that you've gleaned. Namaste, everyone. Tadastu. So it is. Take your time, please feel free to ask questions. Let me know if there's something that didn't make sense, something that you felt, if an emotion came up, which is very, very normal in a yin practice.
Thank you, Anna. That was really good taking us through this. And thank you so much. Now we will open it for questions. Any questions? You may type it in the chat box or unmute and ask.
Annelise, you mentioned the gallbladder as the center of courage and
Yes, curiosity, Meher.
curiosity. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pleasure. It's so fascinating.
Yes. Yes.
It's in the language again. I mean, if you all have been studying NLP, then you will appreciate that. Because you see, right, he's got so much gall. That's gallbladder energy.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah. It's all in the metaphors also.
I have a follow-up to that.
Malati, is that you? Or Kashmira?
Kashmira.
Kashmira.
Is if you don't have a gallbladder, if you had surgery and your gallbladder was removed, then what happens?
I love your question, Kashmira. Do you know that the meridian still exists? So even if the organ has been removed, it might actually need a little more work because the energy in that space then needs to be able to move.
Okay, so there's another follow-up question.
No worries.
Having had hip surgery,
Yeah.
that pose is nearly impossible for me to get into. Is there an alternate to it?
Yes. So let's say, even if you can't work the buttock area comfortably, was the twist all right?
The twist was okay. It was when I had to put the leg on the knee, that was a difficult, that was impossible to do.
So Kashmira, the twist, the seated twist or a lying down twist would give you the same benefit because the gallbladder meridian actually starts in the head. So it zigzags across the head. It runs down, across the ribs. So it's working any part, of the meridian and it will move, it's like unclogging a blocked drain. It will move the energy along the pathway. Now, you definitely want to choose poses that will be more considerate of your hip.
Right.
And one more interesting thing, oh my gosh, guys, don't get me started, but another interesting thing is you don't actually even need to use the pose. You can meditate on the energetic line, and where attention goes, energy flows.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Yeah. I have people taking classes from their hospital beds sometimes, because they know they can just trace their meridians.
Hi, Annelise.
Thank you.
Malati.
This is Meera. How are you?
Hi. How have you been?
How are you? Good to see you after a long time.
Good to see you. My gosh, this is a small, small world.
Yes, yes. I wanted to ask you, you talked about the hormones, so how do you use this for hormone control?
Yeah, this is fascinating again because number one, yin yoga totally works on the, hi, on the
Sorry,
adrenal
that's my
system.
grandson. Okay.
No,
Ah,
no apologies. So you're working on the whole, adrenal systems. You're soothing the parasympathetic nervous system. That's number one.
uh-huh.
So when you're soothing the nerves, you're switching off that fight and flight response that tends to throw all of the other hormones out of whack. So if you're
Ah,
constantly running with, like this undercurrent of stress, your digestive
yeah.
system is taking a beating. Your sugar is getting thrown out of whack. Your thyroid's getting, out of whack. And
Yes.
especially for women in perimenopause and menopause and beyond, it's so important for us to, because remember we talked about Dantian?
Yes.
All the energy you come with, it's the set amount of stores that you're born with, and that's stored in the kidney. So you want to protect that energy, in order to be able to have a lot more vitality.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's quite interesting, isn't it? True, you're right, because that stress really takes a toll on um, a lot of systems like thyroid and diabetes and so many
Yes,
things.
yes. And it's not just the typical stress we know or we label as stress. It's all those
Uh-huh.
unseen stressors too. For example, it even might be a nutritional deficiency that the body is seeing as a stress. So you
Uh-huh.
might not be getting the right vitamins,
Okay.
the right
My
mineral.
internet is really giving me trouble. Just again, give me a minute. Hello?
I
Can
can
you
hear you,
hear me?
Meera.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'll take the number from Sajani and talk to you
Yes,
sometime, Annelise.
love to catch up. Love to catch up.
Yes, same here. Okay.
Any
Any
other?
other questions?
Is it possible to share something about metaphor therapy?
I can do that, Mr. Janaki Ram, for sure. I use the NLP metaphors. So I'll share something with you. I'll send it through Sajani. I think Sajani just got oh there's Sajani. She's there. I'll send you something.
And then I'll pass it on.
Thanks, Sajani. I learned the metaphor bit with one of Dr. Bandler's trainers who then set off on his own. His name is Andrew Austin. So he does something called metaphors in your attic. And it was a very fascinating science about again how people use language to describe and to be able to move, get past certain experiences. Yeah, very fascinating.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sajani.
Any other questions?
One more, please, Annelise.
Where are you?
Meher,
There.
could you tell us about the lung and heart points again, please? I didn't quite get that. I think it was a little at a distance, so if you could show.
You're looking at the one here, Meher?
Yes, that's right.
So let me. Okay,
Right,
so
right.
these meridians exist on both hands, right? But
Right.
for practice, we were looking more on the left. So this is at the crease, of the wrist.
Near the little finger.
Sorry?
Near the little finger, in line with the little finger.
Yeah. And it's right here. It's your heart 7 point.
Okay.
In fact, this is a great point to press, for about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute if you're feeling really anxious or if you're unable to sleep. So this is a really good point on the heart channel. Right? So most of these acupoints are built to release energy that's been stuck. So this is your heart point. And then in line with the wrist, so you're looking at in line with the middle finger, 3 fingers down from the wrist is the pericardium point.
Okay. 3
And
fingers.
by itself, this point is great for bringing you back to equilibrium. So even if you're feeling like motion sickness, this would be the point to press.
Wow.
Yeah. And together, fascinating. And together, they just help you, like tap into the Shen, the spirit of the Shen. In Chinese medicine, the heart is actually seen as the thinker, and not so much it interprets all the emotions that the other organs send its way.
The heart is not the, sorry?
The heart is seen as the thinker.
Thinker.
Not the brain.
Okay, wow.
So basically, the heart, so what happens is each of the other organs experience life through taste, through sense, all of the senses. And then the heart interprets those experiences. So say anger is coming at it from the liver, or fear is coming at it from the kidney. The heart is making sense of it and then deciding how you behave.
Amazing, really.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
very
Anna. That was really interesting.
Thank
What
you,
about
Sajani.
Me,
What
Annelise.
about the memory? This is Preeti here.
Hi,
Memory.
Preeti.
Hi.
What about memory, Preeti?
For memory,
To boost memory?
yes.
So if I had to just so if I had to, if I have to just say something that I'm joining my dots, it would be energy from your digestive system, from your from your small and large intestines, and from your stomach energy, Preeti.
Okay, okay.
These are the 2 systems that are very closely connected with focus and how you think.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will also identify something closer and send Sajani the answer for you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thanks, Anna.
Pleasure. I have to remember all the things I'm sending you.
Yes.
Hi, Annelise.
Okay, are there any more questions?
Yes, Sajani, I have one question.
Yes, Anya.
Yeah, Annelise, on the same lines of what Meher asked you, those 2 points which you showed, the one which is alongside the little
Yeah.
finger and the one 3 inches below here. But I wanted to know if, like from right hand, if I'm pressing on the left hand, I'm not getting the right 2 fingers. Which are the 2 fingers if I have to activate both of them together?
I use my ring finger and my index finger. That just seems more comfortable for me.
Ah, yes, that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I was really trying to use the thumb as one and then it was not working.
Yeah, I kind of sit with it like this and I rest my middle finger down. So it's
Okay,
almost like I was taking my own pulse.
right. Thanks, Annelise. Got it.
Sure. You know what, Sajani? I'll edit that document I sent you and I'll put these acupoint pictures in also.
That would be nice. I won't send out the other one that you sent me today.
Not just yet. I'll put a couple more things. I'll find something that Preeti asked on which one for the memory and I'll add that in.
Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah. I appreciate the questions.
Any more questions?
Yeah, where are you located? And do you have any classes?
I'm online all the time now. And I take either, one-on-one sessions or I have a class in the evenings for women primarily on a platform called Life Wellness. And on Saturday mornings, there's a mixed group yin class on Life Wellness. So that's for everyone, male, female alike. So I'll send that to Sajani as well and put that in the document. But I hear you're in the States, right, Kashmira? So the timing might be a little weird. So for the States, I'm on a platform called My Yoga Teacher. And I'm there, EST, I think it's 9:30 EST. So Minnesota, you're mountain, right?
No, Midwest.
Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be around, say, 8 in the evening.
Okay.
Sunday nights,
Thank
Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Great. Any more questions?
Sajani, there's something in the chat box. I think you should read that out.
Anna,
Oh,
will you
thank
check the
you.
chat?
Thank you for pointing that out. So when you're in a pose for 1.5 minutes, how will the breathing be? Brilliant question. So when you're in the pose, you're exhaling soft and long. So it also depends on what pose you're in. So typically, if you're in a pose that's, this is what my teacher taught me, and I love this analogy. When you're sitting upright, when your body is upright, imagine that you're a bottle of water, and that bubble in the water bottle would be on top. So your breath would typically be up here. If you're laying down, the bubble moves to, just here near your diaphragm. So your breathing would be in the diaphragm. Typically, we have different types of breaths in Yin Yoga. So today we had focused on the lower Dantian breath. So you're going, inhaling lower abdomen, exhaling completely lower abdomen. So the breath typically would be long exhales, soft and deep inhales. You don't want to be shallow breathing. So a lot of us struggle with breath just here or very, very short breathing up here. That again, to answer Meera's question, is a stress response in the body. So when you're in
My
that
phone
pose,
Sorry, my phone has gone on audio mode only, so I'm not able to see you.
no worries, Meera.
Uh.
Is that okay, Ramani? Ramanani, right? Ramanani. Thank you. Thank you. Bottom line is never force your breath. Always, ease the pose out if your breathing is staggered. So I know this can be extremely tight. So even here, then you find a way to adjust the body, adjust the neck, so that you can breathe and release.
Right. Thank you. Any more questions? Any comments, suggestions? No?
We would love to have a longer session with you, Annelise, please.
Anna, when the school opens up, we'll invite you to the School of Ancient Wisdom and we'll have a weekend program.
I would love that. I have actually been there, for groups of students to teach yoga there in the mornings. Absolutely loved it.
Okay.
It's the best place to do yoga.
Okay, I agree with you. So maybe in some time we'll have a workshop there, Anna.
About YouTube.
Okay.
I don't have really good videos on YouTube yet, but I have an online teachable school. So again, I'll send Sajani some of those coordinates, and you can see how best you want to reach out. Happy to share Yin with you all anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
So
everyone.
much, Anna. That's so generous of you.
Such a privilege. Thank you. Sajani inspired me to learn NLP, and I'll never ever forget that.
Right. So
Yeah, you've opened so many new doors for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
okay. Now, if there are no other questions, then I shall ask Deepti John to propose a vote of thanks. Deepti, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
On behalf of the School of Ancient Wisdom, I wish to express my heartfelt thanks to Annelise for her valuable insights in hormonal and emotional healing. It's perhaps an answer to many of today's ailments, both physical and mental. You may know that one in 5 Indians is a mentally sick person. So we need good healing modalities for them, and we don't have we don't have conventional psychotherapy to meet the demands in India. The treatment that's needed for them. So we should, I guess, look at alternative treatments where possible. We look forward to a continued association with her in the future and wish her best of luck in her endeavors in making this world a better place in her own way. And thanks, Annelise. Once again, all the best to you.
Thank you, Deepti. Thank you all. That was such a beautiful blessing.
Thank you, Deepti.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
Anna, thanks once again.
Bless
And
you.
I now request Ramesh to do the Loka Samasta.
Thank you, Sajani. Thank you, Annelise, once again. That was a very nice, warm, down-to-earth program that we had today. And your positivity is very infectious, as is your smile.
Thank you.
So, on that note, let us all sit straight with our back, neck, and head aligned for the Loka Samasta. Let us all connect with each other. Send out the Loka Samasta to all those in our community who need healing, and also for the general well-being and upliftment of all the souls in the universe. Take a deep breath and let go. Observe the silence within. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu.